Hey everybody, welcome back to Makeup and Motorsports, your place for serving hot looks while giving you hot takes about things that happen during hot laps. Now, this is a very different type of vibe. I decided the Chinese Grand Prix, this is a very late video, and like the Chinese Grand Prix and the Japanese Grand Prix, they were very late at night for some people in the US. West Coast, not so much, but I decided for this one, let's just do a nighttime skincare routine, because what's interesting about the Chinese Grand Prix to me is that while the race itself wasn't super crazy, although as an Oscar fan I was very excited to see him win, it was more about the things that happened after the race that had bigger impacts. So no formation lap. Instead, we're just gonna get into it and talk a little bit about it. So as I said, the race itself wasn't super like wild, crazy. Definitely it's not gonna be one of those ones that like people are gonna go back and be like, this was the race to watch. Like, this is not Abu Dhabi 2021. This is not that. Was it a good race? Yeah, it was fine. I think the Shanghai circuit is so cool, and it really just bugged me that it was kind of a mid-race at best, but 2 races, 2 winners so far, so you can't complain. Granted, they are both payas. The other fun things that like happened during it is Kimi Antonelli getting driver of the day and Toto basically saying, oh yeah, it's because you're good looking. I laughed. I had to laugh at that. Also, Fernando Alonso not finishing? What the fuck? Like, what? Only rookie who hasn't finished yet. Jeez. Being said, the big stories post-race were the DQs and the team switch-ups. So let's talk first about the DQ. So first of all, the Ferraris both getting DQs for Charles being under and Lewis's bottom plate being too thin. I'm like, what is happening? Who cursed these boys? Like, who decided to put a hex on them? Because it's the wrong hex code and I don't like it. And I'm not happy because I wanted so much for them this year. I really wanted it to be a good championship fight between Red Bull and McLaren and Ferrari and Mercedes. Like, those 4 should be a good tight fight, and if this is how it is for the first 2 races of the seasons, that's scary. That's scary. And I don't like it. On top of that, then you have Pierre Gasly also being underweight and not being able to get the points that he wanted to, and getting a DQ, and that is sad. Like, nobody wants to see somebody get DQ'd for such a minimal amount of weight, and I get that the sport is so, like, down to the tiniest little bit in reaction times, and I agree with that, but it just sucks. I mean, it really does suck. I will say the reactions I did see about, like, I think it was Esteban was with Charles or Lewis when they got DQ'd, and he is like, sucks for you, but like, thanks for the free points, which is kind of funny, and it is starting to turn me a little bit into an Esteban Ocon fan. He's slowly getting out of the baguette brotherhood, like, brouhaha battling, and becoming his own driver, and people being able to see him in his own lane. I'm excited for him. So I am hoping that he has a good career at Haas. Then you had the news story. It was the will they won't they of the entire internet. And that was, will Red Bull really drop a driver after 2 races? And the fact that they dropped Liam Lawson after 2 races is insane. I don't like it. I don't like the principle that it sets for Formula One. I don't like the principle that it's showing that there are so many cracks in the Red Bull machine. I mean, you have every driver, including Max, liking some pretty poignant posts on social media. And that just, to me, screams Red Bull doesn't have their shit together and they're trying to find somebody to blame. I mean, didn't they try and blame Adrian Newey and his wife for like, he was on gardening leave, nice try. Like, that to me is sad. So the fact that they've swapped drivers after 2 races, I think before that it was like 6 or 11 races was the lowest amount, but 2 races, like, good on Yuki. I may not be a Yuki fan, but good on him that he gets that chance in the Red Bull. Here's to hoping he can actually prove that he should have had it that entire time. But here's also to Liam proving that he is a good driver. It just was not the right fit with the car. And it leaves an icky taste in my mouth, and I don't like that. You know, I don't know how to feel after the Chinese Grand Prix. It definitely made me feel like, oh, it was a weird race. I was happy that Oscar won. I'm happy that Max is getting his shit together. It was fun to watch the rookies, but I'm glad to say bye to Shanghai for the season. It was a weird race. I don't know how to feel about it. And that's why this video, I was just like, I don't even know if I want to do a makeup look, because could I have done something? Could I have found something to make fun of and just make it into a silly little video? Sure. Could I have talked about the fact that there is that beautiful blue and white pattern on the Chinese Grand Prix trophy that I think is absolutely stunning, and I could have tried to emulate that into a makeup look? Absolutely. But I think sometimes it's okay to be like, it was a race. It was a race. It wasn't a good race. It wasn't a bad race, but it was a race. And while we don't want a lot of those in the season, sometimes that happens. And I definitely think that there are going to be a couple of those races this season where you're just like, oh, I guess. But next up is Suzuka, one of my favorite tracks. I wonder if they still have the beehives that Seb set up for them. I'm gonna have to look into that. Sometimes there are those races where I'm just gonna be like, hey, let's just do something simple. Let's just chat. And sometimes I'm gonna be like, I need to do a look because this was insane. So there's that. Now I am ready for bed. I have my hair braided so that it doesn't get messy. I'm gonna put a little hair oil in. I've got double moisturizer on. I've got a lip mask on, some little problem areas. I've got my Invisalign in. I have my hair ready to go to bed. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So thank you guys so much for watching. All of my social media is going to be in the description, the bio, all of the fun places you can find me across all of there. So stay tuned for our Japanese Grand Prix wrap-up, because I'm very excited to talk about it. And we're also going to be showcasing some fun new merch items that are going to be available soon. Thanks for watching, and beep beep, lights out. See you guys next time.